In order to set up a newsletter in Booster theme, scroll down. And we can click Call to Action. Inside of Call to Action, you could click this Add Content, scroll down, and choose Newsletter. But newsletter can be found in different places as well. So I'll back out of this, scroll down some more, and click Add Section. And we could add a newsletter inside of the Call to Action section, inside of Content and Text. If I X this out, I could add the newsletter inside of the footer and the subfooter as well. Going back to the Call to Action section, let's click Newsletter. If you didn't select it before, go to Add Content, scroll down, and click Newsletter. Anywhere that you want to utilize this, you can do the same thing. It'll still be the same. You'll be able to click Add Content and click Newsletter. But I'll click mine here. And in Newsletter, it has a bunch of settings that add so much power. So right here, we have the newsletter provider. If we click the newsletter provider, we can choose Shopify or MailChimp. So if I leave it at Shopify, right, everything stays the same. But if I click and change this to MailChimp, I get this pop-up on screen. And it says, it's kind of hard to read it, but it says, I'll underline it, set up your MailChimp action in theme settings, newsletter. So let's follow that. Let's go back. Let's back out again, go to theme settings, and we'll go down until we find newsletter. Boom. So once we set up that we're going to use MailChimp, it'll ask for our MailChimp action, right, that you can get from the MailChimp site, as well as some other information if you want, like the MailChimp U field and the MailChimp ID field, right? But remember that these are optional. Your MailChimp action should be very similar to a URL, but this is something that you'll get from MailChimp, and you'll just add it right into here. So I'll back out of here. I will back out again, and I will go back to call to action. Well, not that one, it was this one. I'll go to newsletter, and I will reverse it from MailChimp back to Shopify for this case. So if we go down, we have the input settings. We could change the maximum input width. But what's the input section? It's this right here. This is where we'll input things that we want to be sent, right? When we click the subscribe button. So this is the input field. We can change the maximum input width up or down, right? With this. I will put it back to where it was, about there. And then we could change the input text color. We can make it red, right? And that will appear when we type into it. We could change the background color and make this red or yellow, right? And see? We could also type into it. And then we could add placeholder text. So for this situation, we could say, instead of saying your email goes here, we could always say, enter your email. Enter your email here. And see, it puts it right inside of here. And see, this doesn't get the same color as our input color. Our input text color is when we actually input text. So this is kind of weird colors, so I will click back and select none. But I could leave this for red for now. But you can customize it to your liking. So we scroll down and we see button and button type. We could here change it from primary combination to a secondary combination, right? And if we click this, you see how this color changes? This is from our secondary combination that we set inside of the theme section or our theme settings of our Booster theme site. So we could leave it like this or move it back. I'll kind of leave it like this. It matches this Join Now button, which I really like. But I could also change the submit text and change it from subscribe to whatever I want by changing it or by messing around with the text inside of this section. So this is the settings for the newsletter section. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Remember, if you're not using a Shopify newsletter, you can click MailChimp and then go to theme settings, newsletter, and then be able to add in the MailChimp action and the other information you need to connect your MailChimp newsletter onto your Booster Theme site. Thank you for watching this video. Please refer to our Help Center for more information.